Elon Musk is no fan of a lot of things, dude. He's not a fan of a lot of things that I was watching this thing today about AI and Elon Musk and how he invests so much money into artificial intelligence, but he fears artificial intelligence more than anybody. But that's why he puts all his money into it and research, because he wants to know exactly what they're doing with artificial intelligence. He fears what could happen with it.
Well, I mean, obviously, the thing they talk about, and in Terminator, which is where my knowledge of artificial intelligence comes from, is Terminator. The computers become self-aware,
Yeah, I mean,
and they're like, we don't need the people. We don't need people anymore.
yeah, because people make decisions that are emotional and not rational, and computers don't make emotional decisions. There's a cool show. Me and Megan were rewatching it called Person of Interest. That it's just a TV show, but the concept of it's great. Where this two guys built this machine for the NSA to pretty much curtail things like 9/11 from happening. It's supposed to listen to absolutely everything, like every video, phone, microphone, all at one time, and gather all the information and then cipher out what's important information to stop immediate threats and what's not. And then it gives them the information to the NSA. So he built this thing. There's only one access to it, and it was an AI type of machine. And then he determined that it was kicking out what it considered non-essential or something. It was sending him these numbers. They were Social Security numbers, and he determined that he was getting these from the machine, and they were just people that were going something was going to happen. They were either going to do something to somebody else or something was going to happen to them. They didn't know what or when or how, and the machine had just gathered up all this information about people around them, what they were doing, their activities. And so he had this guy who used to be in the military, a CIA guy. He hired him. He's like, fucking ruin his life. Turns him around and says, I just need you to follow this person. And I don't know what they're going to do or what's going to happen to them, but stop it, whatever it is. And that's the whole show. And then the machine ends up becoming this thing that it does what it wants. Sends you the numbers. It interferes with people's lives because it's doing it solely based on that. But I do find artificial intelligence interesting. Tesla came out with their full self-driving subscription this weekend. So like my car, I could buy full self-driving. It's like 10 grand to add it to that car. And then I would have the ability in some city streets for it to be full self-driving. And it uses a form of artificial intelligence to do that. And they came out with the subscription. It's $200 a month. And people are like, dude, light them up. Like, it's not worth it. It's shitty. It's fucking crazy. It's not there yet, man. But one day, maybe it'll be there.
Well, that's because those things are crashing into each other.
No, they ain't crashing into shit. They're just not people. So they stop when maybe they shouldn't have to stop, or they don't drive fast enough. Rarely do they crash into anything. I bet if you look at the statistics of Teslas and car crashes versus regular people just driving around.
I'd rather have me than a fucking machine in charge of the car. And I've
watched you leave here plenty of times and thought you need self-driving.
I've totaled 3 cars.
But I don't know.